If you're seeing this now, God is interrupting your day for a reason. It's not a coincidence. It's an appointment. What you're about to hear can change how you see this moment and the decision you were just about to make. Don't give up on that person. Stay with me, because in seconds I'm going to show you the sign almost everyone overlooks, the one that separates stories that bloom from the ones that wither too soon. Do one small thing to focus. Say your name quietly and type, "I won't give up," in the comments. That simple gesture trains your mind to commit to what you're about to receive. Breathe. We continue. I know what that heavy silence feels like. You wait for a message that doesn't come. You replay conversations like they're clues. You wonder if letting go is maturity or persevering is faith. Right when doubts rise, a truth breaks through. When God lights conviction, the calendar can't turn it off. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says it plainly, everything has its season. And love with purpose doesn't sprint on impulse. It moves with rhythm. Picture this, a seed underground. Above, nothing is visible. Below, everything is happening. The seed breaks, puts down roots, seeks water, turns toward the light. That's how what God started in your heart works. Silence isn't abandonment, it's preparation. Proverbs 13:12 paints it. Hope delayed hurts, but when it's fulfilled, it becomes a tree of life. That tree may be forming right now. Let me say something clearly. Don't trust anxiety. Trust peace. What comes from above doesn't hypnotize, it orders. Philippians 1:6 holds this certainty. The one who began the good work will complete it. If the work began in you with clean signs, it will also be finished in due time. And yes, I said signs. In a moment, I'll give you 3 that rarely fail. First, let me ignite your hope with a story that needs no embellishing. Jacob worked 7 years for Rachel. He was deceived. He worked 7 more, 14 years. Foolishness. Genesis 29:20 says, they seemed like only a few days to him because of the love he had for her. This is not an invitation to romanticize pain. It's a lesson. When there's purpose, time doesn't break you. It refines you. Jacob didn't stay because he had no options. He stayed because he understood his story wasn't a romantic accident, but part of a larger destiny. Now look at Joseph's life. He dreamed high, fell low, was forgotten. On the surface, everything said, it's over. Yet at the exact moment, heaven moved the peace no one saw and the palace doors opened. Prison didn't deny the call. It prepared him to carry it. What if today's silence is the gym, where what you'll hold tomorrow is being strengthened? I promise 3 signs. Here they are, direct. First sign, peace you won't negotiate. When you pray about that person, a calm descends that you don't manufacture. A stillness that doesn't depend on a phone reply or the perfect phrase. That peace returns again and again. It doesn't push pressure or drive you to ultimatums. It anchors you. Second sign, confirmations that reach you without you chasing them. A text that matches your prayer, an unexpected conversation, a word that repeats in different places. Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us, God's thoughts are higher. When a message comes back through multiple channels, it isn't obsession, it's pedagogy. Third sign, character growth. Waiting for that person doesn't make you more bitter. It makes you clearer. You learn to tell the truth without wounding, to set boundaries without punishing, to listen without surrendering your dignity. What comes from God doesn't erase you, it matures you. If, as you hear this, something lights up inside, say quietly, guide my steps, not my impulses. And stay with me, because in 10 seconds, I'm going to show you the mistake that steals more stories than any distance. The most common mistake is confusing signs with desire. When you're trying to force an ending, anything looks like a hint. The real sign leaves you in peace even when it says wait. Anxiety demands proof every hour. If today you feel an urge to do something now, just to ease the wait a moment more. If instead you feel clarity for a short, respectful step, it could be today. Matthew 19:6 reminds us of a principle that transcends ceremonies. What God joins together isn't torn apart by an impulse. True unity is proved in the everyday, in how you guard your words, in how you respond to silence, in how you hold healthy boundaries. And yes, boundaries. Persevering is not normalizing harm. Don't confuse love with permissiveness. Guarding your heart is obedience. Proverbs 4:23 puts it at the center. Above all else, guard your heart. Let's talk about the clock, because time is what demands the most. Habakkuk 2:3 says the vision won't fail. Though it lingers, it will come. What do you do while it comes? I'm giving you a 7-habit path, short and real, that keeps waiting from turning into anguish. Begin the morning with concrete gratitude for 3 things and a single request for wisdom for the day. Filter what you watch. If it steals your peace or pushes you to compare, don't consume it. Honor your limits. Don't send messages at hours that disrupt your sleep. Speak plainly when it's time. I'm not trying to pressure you. I value this and I want to care for it. Surround yourself with 2 voices that remind you what God told you when everything gets shaken. Keep your purpose active. Study, serve, create. Life in motion lowers anxiety. End the day with a brief prayer. Align my heart to your timing. I will not move out of fear. It's not all waiting. There are steps too. Here's a simple framework to decide whether you should write today or not. If the intention is born from fear of losing, stop. If it's born from clarity and respect, you can send a short message that neither demands nor dramatizes. Something like, I just wanted to say that I value what I sense. I'm not trying to rush anything. What's real doesn't need theater. In 1 minute, I'm going to tell you an intimate scene that explains why many let go right before the turn. First, subscribe if you value direct words that center you so you don't miss what's coming. This space exists to sustain you, not to entertain you. Here's the scene. Someone spent months on the verge of quitting because the signs were subtle, not spectacular. When they decided to bring order inside, sleep better, close open loops, speak without double agendas, something changed. Not in a day, but it changed. The conversation with the other person gained clarity. They moved from anxious monologues to purposeful dialogue. It wasn't magic, it was coherence. And coherence, when sustained, opens doors that pressure closes. Back to you. How do you know whether to keep going or to let go? If peace persists, if you find clean confirmations, if your character grows and you're not getting lost in games, keep going. If the only thing growing is anxiety, if you're fading yourself to please, if there's repeated normalized disrespect, don't call it perseverance. Guarding yourself is obedience too. This balance is learned with practice, not with extremes. Psalm 27:14 gives you strength for today. Wait, be strong, take heart. I'm not asking you to deny the pain. I'm inviting you to surrender it. Pain surrendered becomes wisdom. Repressed pain turns into hardness, and hardness kills the love you're trying to protect. In the next few seconds, I want to give you a 7-day map to make the invisible measurable. Day 1, meaningful silence. Write what you feel without adornment. Day 2, clear one distraction that steals your peace. Day 3, declare 3 truths about yourself that don't depend on anyone's response. Day 4, if there's peace, send a brief, honest gesture. If not, keep your center. Day 5, move forward on one personal goal. Love breathes better when your life is blooming. Day 6, reevaluate signs with serenity. Day 7, decide the next step without self-punishment. You might say, I'm afraid of wasting time. I get it. Time feels heavy, and opinions weigh more. Jeremiah 29:11 disarms that fear. There are plans to prosper you and a future. Those plans include your heart. You are not adrift. If this is from God, it will be confirmed with peace and clarity. If not, it will close with peace and clarity. In both cases, you come out blessed. This isn't a blind bet. It's a guided walk. Let me summarize precisely what keeps a story with meaning alive. Peace that remains. Confirmations you don't chase. They reach you. Visible character growth. Shared purpose, not fantasies. A sober sense that together you multiply good. Compassion that doesn't erode in the first storm. Clarity that avoids games. If this repeats, don't give up. Here's an anchoring line for when anxiety tries to run your afternoon. I don't move out of fear. I walk by purpose. Write it exactly like that on a piece of paper and keep it today. When everything shakes, read it out loud. Training the mind is also part of love. Romans 8:31 closes ranks around you. If God is for you, who can be against you? Luke 1:45 adds the note your heart needed. Blessed is she who believed, for what she was told will be fulfilled. And when it happens, you'll understand why doors closed before, why other options didn't prosper, why the clock insisted on delaying. The delay won't be humiliation. It will be a signature. If anything here spoke to you, drop a line in the comments with your sign for today. Maybe you'll write peace that returns, or repeated confirmations, or more character, less anxiety. By sharing it, you commit to what you already know, and you help someone who needs it. Share this video with 2 people. It might be the thread God uses to lift someone off the ground. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next steps. How to open healthy conversations without losing peace, and how to recognize genuine progress without self-deception. You need to hear this once more, plain and unadorned. Don't give up on that person if the signs are there. If your peace remains, if your character grows, if purpose is calling you both. What God began, He will finish. And when the moment comes, you'll know that every tear was water for a tree that was about to be born.